All right. Thank you, class, for coming in today really quietly and really efficiently. Thank you for answering the trivia questions at the door because we know we all love trivia here. I know you're all riled up from that, but I have some sad news. Our TV isn't working, so we can't project our slideshow onto the TV, so we'll be learning from the computer. But anyways, let's start our do now. Check to see if you have a whiteboard marker, eraser, pen, and pencil. If you don't have any of those things, let me know, and I'll quietly go over to you and we'll get this sorted out easily. So let's start our do now. Take 5 minutes to write on your whiteboard how many fun-size Snicker bars do you think are in a king-size Snicker bars, right? And timer starting now. Fast forward because I don't have that time. So, how many Snicker bars do you think fun-size Snicker bars are in a king-size one?
6.
Yes, that's the exact answer I was looking for. Actually, let me give you Snickers instead. Give me that one. Thank you. That's mine. Anyways, so why did I ask you to describe a larger quantity in terms of unit sizes, like fun-size Snicker bars or fun-size candy? Let's look at the objectives to see what's up. Can I get Ulises to read the first objective?
Students will be able to quantitatively describe measurements in different units.
All right, and can I get someone with a blanket to read the second one? Okay, Vlad.
Students will be able to apply dimensional analysis in mathematical and scientific contexts.
Alright, and can I get Madi to read the third one?
Students will be able to apply unit conversions to everyday life.
Alright, so what it sounds like from the objectives is that we're going to be talking about unit conversions and just like unit factors in general, right? So why is that important? Well, look at these people running on the track, right? An everyday life example. If you run track and if you want to run 1 mile on the track, you have to take into account that that's 4 laps, right? And each lap is 400 meters. So 400 meters times 4 laps is 1,600. Do you have a question?
No, I thought you were gonna ask how much it was. And I was 1,600 because I want to make candy.
Oh. Well, thank you for your enthusiasm. I love that energy, but let's keep it for when we're actually answering questions later on. Woo! Right? Woo! So 400 times 4 laps is 1,600 meters. So we know 1,600 meters is 1 mile. Another example. Right. So, how many of you guys, on your whiteboards, write down if you think you should drink 64 ounces of water daily or 8 cups of water daily. Alright. Thank you for writing that down on your whiteboard. Now, if you think 64 ounces, stand up. And if you think 8 cups, stay sitting down but raise the number 2 on your hand. Right, so bamboozled because 64 ounces is 8 cups. Crazy, right?
What?
That's,
Did not know that.
I don't believe it.
you don't believe it? Oh my gosh. We're gonna have a conversation later about that. Anyways, because 64 ounces is equal to 8 cups, you know that's something that's called a unit conversion factor. And a factor is defined by a fraction, or it could be represented by a fraction, right? And that's how you convert units. You multiply fractions, right? So let's take a look at this next slide. So if I ask you, how many quarts are in 5 gallons? We take what we know, right? We know we have 5 gallons, and we know, as it says that it's given, we know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So let's start with our first fraction, right? We know we have 5 gallons. We put that in the numerator of the first one. And what's the denominator here? Why is it blank? Does anyone know?
It's 1.
Thank you. Right, so this first fraction is 5 over 1, right? And now, next step, you want to multiply it by another fraction, the conversion factor. The denominator of that conversion factor has to match the numerator of the first fraction, right? Not by the number, but by the unit. The units must match in diagonally, right? So numerator, denominator, units must match. So if that must match, what unit does the denominator have to be of the second fraction?
Gallons.
Thank you. Wow, you're on top of it today. So what do we know? 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, right? And quarts is the unit that we want, so we stop right there, right? So 5 times 4 equals 20 quarts. And that's the answer, right? Second example, just in case that y'all aren't getting it yet, I got a second example for you, right? So same thing. But So what do we know? What do we know we have?
5 gallons.
Yes, that's so good. 5 gallons, right? We start off with 5 gallons. And now let's go to the second fraction. What does the denominator have to be?
Gallon.
Okay, so we know we have 1 gallon, and 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Okay, so now 4 quarts is the numerator. What does the denominator of the next one have to be?
Quarts.
Okay, so now we have 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. Now we have pints in the numerator. What do we want in the denominator?
Pints.
Pints.
Yes, y'all are getting it. Okay, and 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. And because we want cups, we stop there, and now we multiply to get
80.
yes, 80 cups. You get a kind bar. Woo! All right. So now that we went through that, we're kind of like a little bit familiar with it, but we're not yet getting it. So, can I get everyone to stand up? Just to reinforce this really well, right? Because I know you love to party, and I know you love to dance, and I know everyone here loves the cha-cha slide, right? So we're doing the unit conversion cha-cha slide, right? And it's gonna make sense, okay? It's gonna make sense, and you're gonna remember this forever, right? So, what do we start with first? We slide to the right with the first fraction, right? Onto the second fraction. Then you crisscross your units, right? Because crisscrossing units have to match. And then you multiply it out real smooth, right? So repeat after me, and also do the motions too. All right, so you slide to the right.
Slide to the right.
Today, crisscross.
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 And now multiply it out real smooth.
Multiply.
All right, everyone can take a seat now. And now we're gonna move on to the last thing, and that's to independently work on this question that we have here, which is Itchy the inchworm needs to get home, but Itchy only knows distance in terms of inches, and he only knows that he has to get home in, what is it? He needs to get home in
5 kilometers.
5 kilometers, thank you. Right, so now we're gonna have to convert 5 kilometers to inches.